Have you ever loved someone whose mind felt like a storm you couldn't calm? You try to help, to say the right thing, but sometimes it feels like you're walking on eggshells, scared to make it worse. Caring for someone with mental illness is one of the most selfless acts of love there is, but it's also one of the hardest. Today, we're going to talk about how to truly understand what your loved one is going through and the best ways to support them without losing yourself in the process. The first step in being a great caregiver for someone with mental illness is understanding that it's not their fault, and it's not yours either. Depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, these are real health conditions. They're not personality flaws or weaknesses. They're complex struggles that change how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. When someone you love is battling this, you might notice things like withdrawal, irritability, or mood swings. It's easy to take those personally, but the truth is, they're symptoms, not attacks. So, step 1, separate the illness from the person. They're not being difficult. They're struggling, and that difference changes everything. Imagine mental illness like a storm cloud that covers the sun. The person you love is still there. You just can't see them clearly through the clouds right now. Your job isn't to chase the storm away, it's to stand beside them until it passes. Caregivers often make one big mistake. They try to fix what they can't fix. You see your loved one hurting, and your instinct is to say, "It's okay," or "Just try to stay positive." But for someone with mental illness, those words can feel invalidating. Instead, listen to understand, not to solve. You don't have to have the right answers. Sometimes all they need is for you to sit quietly beside them and say, "I'm here." You don't have to go through this alone. Active listening means no judgment, no advice unless they ask, and no comparing their pain to yours. Just being a calm, safe space, that alone can be powerful medicine. Here's something many caregivers forget. You can't pour from an empty cup. Supporting someone with mental illness can be draining. If you give endlessly without rest, you'll burn out. That's why boundaries are not selfish. They're essential. Set limits on how much you can give in a day. Say no when you need to rest. Make time for your own hobbies, friends, and therapy if you can. Because when you take care of you, you're better able to take care of them. Remember, you are not their therapist. You are their support system. There's a big difference. If your loved one hasn't already sought help, encourage it, gently. You might say, "I care about you, and I think talking to a professional could really help." Offer to help them find a therapist, go with them to appointments, or help manage their medication if they're open to it. But, and this is important, don't force it. Recovery from mental illness takes time and trust. Your role is to support, not to push. Celebrate the small wins, the day they get out of bed, the moment they smile again, the courage it takes to ask for help. Every mental illness has its patterns, good days and bad days. Learn what triggers your loved one's episodes. Maybe it's stress, lack of sleep, or certain topics. Knowing these can help you create a safer environment. Pay attention to warning signs, withdrawal, sudden mood changes, talk of hopelessness or self-harm. Don't ignore them. Ask directly, "Are you thinking about hurting yourself?" It doesn't plant the idea. It opens the door to trust. If you ever feel they're in danger, call a mental health helpline or emergency services. You don't have to handle it alone. Caregiving for someone with mental illness can feel isolating, but you are not alone. There are thousands of caregivers walking this same path. Join a support group, either locally or online. Talking to others who get it can be a huge relief. Let's be real, caring for someone with mental illness is not easy. Some days it breaks your heart. But it's also one of the most compassionate, courageous things a human being can do. So take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are doing enough. You are enough. If this video spoke to you, share it with another caregiver who needs encouragement today. Comment below with what helps you stay strong. And don't forget to subscribe to Care Loves, where we support the hearts that care for others.